Hi guys, my name is Jana. You're watching my channel On Table Board Games about board games, but today I will tell you a little bit more about new card game. This is tactical card game for 2 players in dark fantasy world, the Dark Order. So enjoy watching. Let me introduce you Dark Order, a tactical board game for 2 players. Meet the 2 commanders and choose one to play with. Draw 4 unit cards and 2 cards from the support deck. Your opponent will do the same. This is the player's hand of cards, which will be played on the map in a moment. Then the first player decides whether they want to be attacker, which means they will be the first to deploy units on the battle zone, or the defender. The attacker chooses one of the 5 location cards, which you will fight over in a moment. Mark the card with faction token and read the card's effect. Most often, they will influence the tactics of both players in the upcoming battle. For example, this location card allows both players to place speed tokens on units on the front line. Remember that one of 3 victory conditions is to capture 3 of the 5 location cards. The second way to win this game is to defeat your opponent's commander. The third victory condition is achieved when you reduce the other player's reserve level to 0. Before I show you how combat works, take a look at the unit cards. Each card has the unit speed value in the upper right corner. This value determines the order of attacks. The attacking player's unit with the highest speed value activate first. The statistics of the left side of the card indicate the unit's attack strength, below that is its health level, and the flag icon is the command value which will determine the winner. Each unit also has its own effect, described at the bottom of the card, and activation cost. Each player pays the cost of playing unit, support, or command cards by lowering their reserve level. In a moment I will tell you how you can increase your reserve level. Now take a look at the game map. Each player has a total of 6 spaces on which you can deploy units for combat. 3 spaces in the front line border the enemy's front line. From these spaces, you can attack both enemy units standing in a front row and those in a back line. However, in order to attack a unit standing in a second row, the space in the first row in front of that unit must be empty. The symbols on the space on the map indicate the attack range. Thus, from the center space in the front line, you can attack the unit directly in front of you in the enemy's front line and the units on both sides. If the enemy's front line is empty, you can target any unit in the second row from this position. But the situation changes with a change of position. The attacker range of units standing on the outer space is limited to the space directly in front and diagonally in both rows. Importantly, units standing in the second row only have range to the enemy's first row. Units in the back row cannot attack enemy units standing in the second row because they do not have range there. Important, if the enemy has no units on the battlefield, you can attack their reserve level directly by the attack value of the attacking unit. So the attacking player deploys the units on the map, placing face-down unit cards in selected spaces. After that, the defender plays their cards and deploys their units. Both players can deploy exhausted units onto the battlefield. Why, you ask? Because you don't pay the activation cost for deploying such a unit, and its command value, I mean the number of flags, counts toward the command total at the end of the battle. Additionally, players can also play their units in a location card selected for this battle. Units played to a location do not require the activation cost to be paid. The cards are placed face down and revealed only at the end of the battle. Additionally, units from the location zone can be moved to the battlefield to supporting the fighting units if the player deems it necessary. So after deploying units, players reveal their ready unit cards and add up these activation costs. The cost value you can find on the right side of each card. Activation costs are paid by reducing the reserve level. Remember that when it drops to 0, your opponent wins immediately. After revealing the units, players, starting with the attacker, can take turns placing one support token on the card, or playing a support card from their hand, or play one order card. Each of these cards must be paid for with reverse points, reducing its level. Support cards can have an immediately effect, which is marked with lightning, or with a unit icon, in which case the card must be attached to the selected unit so that it's clear what statistics the support will increase for the unit. For example, a shield will increase the health level. Remember that each unit can only have one support card, but it can have any number of support tokens. Command cards allow players to react to changing situations on the battlefields, such as moving units, swapping their positions, attacking the enemies on a backline from the flank, or providing support by selecting and deploying a new unit from the deck. Each player can play one command card during an attack or defense. Command cards require reserve points to be paid for their use. But you can also increase your reserve level at any time during the game by discarding command cards. Add up the cost value of the discarded command cards and increase your reserve level by that amount. So now it's time to take action. See how the battle is resolved. This attacker's unit has the highest speed value, so it activates first. Now the attacking player must decide, according to its range, which enemy unit to target. Before dealing damage, the attacking player can play one support card with an instant effect. Instead, they can play one command card, such as a maneuver, which allows them to move units on the battlefield. Always check the unit's special ability and use it as described on the card. After using the effect, cover it with a special token. Once the attacker has declared which unit they are attacking and where, it's the defender's turn to react. They might play one support card with an instant effect, one command card, or use the unit's special ability. So the same as attacker. The attacking unit deals damage equal to its attack value. If the amount of damage equals the opponent's health, the enemy is immediately defeated and their card is removed from the board. The card of the active unit that attacked should be rotated 90 degrees, indicated that it has been used and is now exhausted. After that, the initiative passed to the opposing players, who activates their fastest unit on the battlefield in the same way as described above. When players have used all their units or decide to pass, the battle ends. Now all face-down unit cards on the board are revealed, and both players calculate the total command points from each card. The player with the higher score wins the battle. In the situation of a tie, the defender wins. The winner receives the location card as a reward. Remember that if you have 3 out of 5 cards, you win the entire game. Finally, players consider scavenging. If players have played or moved unit cards to a location card, reveal them. The player whose total unit speed is higher collects the rewards specified in the upper left corner of the location card. This will be the opportunity to draw support cards from the scavenging deck or artifact cards. Both types of cards have powerful effects that will be useful in the next battles. So if neither players has met one of the 3 victory conditions, both players prepare for the next combat. That's all for me today. Thank you very much, guys, that you are here. If you like this card game, I will leave a link to the campaign page in the description below, and I hope that we will see in the next video. Bye!